Dear listeners, welcome back to Hui Podcast. The story begins with a simple, yet compelling message. It floated in the vast ocean of the internet, seeking like-minded souls. Written by Elon Musk himself, it read, "If you're a hardcore software engineer and want to build the everything app, please join us by sending your best work to code@x.com. There's a sense of revolution in his words, a call to action that disregards background, education, or work experience. The only thing that matters is the brilliance of your code. If it shines brightly enough, you could become part of an extraordinary team." Musk touched on two key ideas. First, talent matters more than pedigree. Second, he envisioned an everything app, a super app capable of integrating instant messaging, social media, e-commerce, video, payments, and more into one seamless platform. This concept immediately brings to mind his comments during the acquisition of Twitter. Musk expressed admiration for WeChat, praising its ability to do nearly everything. Perhaps that's the blueprint for his dream, a super app that redefines our digital experiences. But which apps in today's world could be considered super apps? To answer that, let's look at platforms that dominate various aspects of our lives. In China, WeChat and Douyin, known as TikTok globally, stand out as prime examples. While they might not do everything, they've become indispensable in daily life. This dominance can be traced back to one key factor: user behavior. High-frequency usage often wins over low-frequency alternatives. In competitive spaces, the app that users rely on more frequently is likely to prevail. In the United States, a curious phenomenon sparks discussion. Despite leading the world in tech innovation, the US lacks a true super app. Why is that? American apps typically fall into two categories: high-frequency apps with limited use cases, or apps with diverse use cases but lower engagement. Somewhere in between, there are apps like those under the Facebook umbrella that come close to being super apps. The Facebook ecosystem includes platforms like Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, and Facebook Messenger. Each is highly used, yet their functionalities remain fragmented. Users must jump between apps for different needs, which is less convenient than a unified platform. Contrast this with WeChat, where users can manage nearly all their communication and social needs within one app. There's no need to switch between platforms, offering a seamless experience that Facebook lacks. Then there's TikTok. While not yet a super app, TikTok shows potential. Despite facing challenges like government intervention in the US, if these hurdles are overcome, TikTok could evolve into a super app. TikTok already boasts strong user engagement and versatile use cases, though it still lags behind Douyin in areas like e-commerce and content ecosystems. By improving these aspects, TikTok could secure its position as a true super app. Uber is another example. With ride-hailing and food delivery services under Uber Eats, it has diversified its offerings. However, whether it can grow into a super app remains to be seen. The quest for the ultimate super app continues, and the possibilities are endless. The US app market showcases a unique trajectory of development. While it lacks a true super app, countless applications are evolving and improving. With advancements in technology and shifting user demands, it's possible that a genuine super app will emerge in the American market someday. Like fleeting meteors in the vast night sky, some apps shine brightly for a brief moment before fading. Among them, there's a special category: apps with immense functionality that remain underutilized due to their infrequent use. Imagine a day when you don't need to book a ride or order food delivery. Would you still open those apps? Or picture browsing the same handful of books over and over? It feels repetitive and dull. These are examples of powerful apps sidelined by their low usage frequency. Now, let's look at YouTube. Its high frequency of use and massive user base underscore its popularity. However, its use cases are narrowly defined. Even as it ventures into live stream shopping and e-commerce, it hasn't achieved notable success. While YouTube is making efforts to evolve into a super app, its journey remains long and uncertain. Then there's X, the platform formerly known as Twitter, and now under Elon Musk's leadership. Its usage frequency is also relatively low, and its application scenarios are limited. Despite Musk's ambition to transform X into a super app akin to WeChat, the platform still lacks the depth required to achieve that goal. So, what defines a super app? Simply put, it's a platform with high-frequency usage and comprehensive application scenarios. Whether it starts with social features like Facebook, Twitter, or WeChat, entertainment like Douyin and TikTok, or functionality like Didi, Uber, Meituan, or Taobao, the path to becoming a super app always begins with a single use case and expands horizontally to cover broader needs. Take WeChat as an example. It began as a simple instant messaging tool with minimal social features. Facebook, too, started as a basic social platform and only added messaging capabilities later. This is the evolution of super apps, a process of constant experimentation, gradual expansion, and the eventual creation of a full-spectrum service platform. In the bustling app market, one story stands out. Meituan, initially focused on food delivery, had an idea. Why not enter the transportation sector? Like an adventurer charting new territories, Meituan launched its ride-hailing service. Meanwhile, Uber, the giant of ride-hailing, had its own epiphany. Why not venture into food delivery? Thus began Uber's foray into Uber Eats. Then there's Douyin, which started as a short video platform. Its creators pondered their next move. Should they try food delivery? Or perhaps pivot toward e-commerce? And finally, there's WeChat. From instant messaging, it expanded to social networking, gaming, content sharing, short videos, live streaming, and ultimately, e-commerce. Like a master craftsman, WeChat strives to encompass everything. This is the allure of a super app, starting with a single scenario and continuously expanding to build a complete ecosystem. A unique characteristic of this ecosystem is its internal harmony, driven by what's often called the flywheel effect. For example, WeChat has cultivated a community of content creators who thrive solely within its platform. These creators write articles for WeChat's public accounts, develop mini programs, and build an ecosystem that sustains itself. Similarly, Douyin fosters MCN, multi-channel network, agencies that grow and even go public within its ecosystem. This is the essence of a super app's ecosystem, stable and self-sustaining, much like a biological chain. The longer the chain, the more resilient it becomes. Even when one link falters, others step in to maintain the system's balance and ensure continuous operation. This story mirrors the lessons from our childhood biology classes. The longer a food chain, the more stable the ecosystem. A system with only one link is fragile. Any disruption could bring the whole thing crashing down. Conversely, a complex and interconnected ecosystem can weather setbacks, with one part compensating for the failure of another, ensuring continuity. One day, a grand ecosystem emerges once more, like an unshakable bedrock, solid and reliable. And here, we arrive at the final defining feature of a super app. It must possess an internal ecosystem. But how is a super app born? And what role does technology play in this process? Recently, Elon Musk publicly stated his intention to recruit exceptional programmers to collaborate on developing a groundbreaking app. The significance of this endeavor cannot be overstated, especially when it comes to meeting and creating needs in novel scenarios. In this journey, the involvement of skilled technologists is critical. Their expertise is essential to achieving this vision. If the goal were merely to piece together existing components, the importance of top-tier developers might diminish. However, building a true super app requires more than just incremental improvements. It demands innovation on a massive scale. The creation of a super app hinges on three elements: timing, environment, and talent. Among these, timing, the emergence of a new use case, is the most crucial. Both Douyin and WeChat owe their success to the rise of previously unmet needs in fresh contexts. Some might question this. Douyin's new use case is understandable. The rise of short videos clearly met a growing demand, particularly as 4G networks made mobile video consumption seamless. But what about WeChat? Isn't it just another instant messaging tool? After all, QQ and even mobile QQ already existed before WeChat came along. So why was WeChat necessary? The answer lies in the transformational shift in how people communicated around 2010 and 2011. WeChat was born in a world where communication habits were rapidly evolving. Back then, most interactions still relied on PCs via platforms like QQ, OICQ, Mississippi N Messenger, and Skype. But this was starting to change. The mobile phone was becoming the new stage for human connection. Phone numbers became the new bridges linking people, and the phone's contact list evolved into a fresh social network. Messaging began to mimic the simplicity of SMS, brief, direct, and personal. This shift paved the way for new tools to facilitate communication in a more intuitive and mobile-first manner. Enter WhatsApp, which epitomized this new era. For many who had never used a PC, WhatsApp was a revelation. It offered an accessible alternative to cumbersome desktop chat tools, eliminating the need to manage complex contact lists or create nicknames for every connection. WhatsApp prioritized simplicity and efficiency. As WhatsApp gained traction, other apps sought to replicate its success. In China, platforms like Miliao and CC Talk attempted to seize the opportunity, though their names have since faded into obscurity. While WeChat wasn't the first to enter this space, it quickly surpassed its predecessors, becoming the dominant platform for communication. WeChat's rise signaled the emergence of a new use case, a need that hadn't been met before. This was the critical timing that every super app needs to succeed. Timing, the birth of new scenarios, is the cornerstone of a super app's success. Whether it's Douyin satisfying a craving for short videos, or WeChat redefining mobile communication, the foundation of every great platform is its ability to identify and address unmet needs at the right moment. Beyond timing, geographical advantage is equally crucial. In closed or semi-closed markets, the conditions are often ripe for the birth of a super app. For example, WhatsApp and Facebook Messenger in the US, and WeChat in China. If China's market had been completely open to external competition, perhaps WhatsApp might have unified global messaging, leaving no room for WeChat to grow. In China, venture capitalists investing in overseas expansion projects constantly search for opportunities arising from shifts in communication habits. The vast and boundless market is full of potential, but the key lies in understanding the limited opportunities for dominance within each closed ecosystem. And once that moment of opportunity passes, the door often closes for good. This is the geography factor. But the third and perhaps most challenging element is human effort. Human effort is fundamental to building a super app. This requires vast resources, particularly in manpower. Creating a super app isn't something that can be done with a small team. Think of Elon Musk cutting Twitter's workforce from 8,000 to 1,500 employees. While that might work for maintaining an established product, building a new super app from scratch demands far more. Even 8,000 employees may not be enough. Let me emphasize, you cannot build a super app with just a few thousand employees. It's not just about user numbers. Twitter and TikTok may have billions of users, but user base size alone doesn't define a super app. The number of employees working behind the scenes is equally critical. To succeed, your workforce must scale to tens of thousands. Why? Let's look at ByteDance as an example. How did they build Douyin and TikTok into super apps? It's not just about how many engineers or operations staff they employ. Do you know how many salespeople ByteDance has? Tens of thousands. Without such a massive sales force, the seamless ecosystem we talk about, the full scenario, self-sustaining internal system, wouldn't exist. Creating such an ecosystem requires people. People to design, implement, sell, and support the product. Consider how certain companies operate. If you register for an X account or download their Grok app, will you receive a call from their team? Probably not. But if you download apps like Lark or Faceshoe, you might get a call within hours. One of my friends had a similar experience. After downloading Lark, it took less than 11 hours for a call to arrive. The person on the other end spoke with a gentle yet confident tone. "Hi, I noticed you've downloaded our app. How are you planning to use it?" Then, every week like clockwork, the calls continued. "Hello, we saw you signed up for our large model API. How's it going? Do you have any feedback or suggestions? What scenarios are you using it in? What improvements would you like to see?" These questions, like pebbles dropped into the still waters of my mind, created ripples of reflection. Could Musk achieve this level of operational outreach with just a sales team? The answer is clear. He has never operated a business requiring such an extensive sales and support structure. From Tesla to SpaceX, and now to Twitter, none of his ventures have depended on this kind of resource-intensive, ground-level execution. To build a super app like Douyin, TikTok, or WeChat, you need a sprawling team, not just in engineering but across sales, marketing, and support. It takes human effort on a scale that cannot be underestimated. This is the essence of Ren-He, the indispensable human force behind every super app success. What truly creates a super app? Is it technology? While technology is undeniably important, it is not the defining factor. If we strip it down to its core, the answer is surprisingly simple: ambition. Or, to put it bluntly, greed. Only with an insatiable appetite for growth and expansion can a super app come into existence. A super app is not built by someone who is altruistic, noble, or willing to let go of everything. Such individuals, though admirable, lack the necessary drive to create a platform of this magnitude. It requires relentless expansion. Wherever there is an opportunity to generate profit, it must be seized without hesitation. Once the foundational use case is established, the app must continuously expand its internal ecosystem, develop new scenarios, and grow them aggressively through bold strategies. Even when faced with setbacks or failures, resilience is key. A super app must rise like a phoenix, learning and adapting after every fall. This reminds me of a story, a tale of competition and resilience featuring Douyin and Meituan, a saga of challenges, failures, and relentless pursuit. I recall standing in the middle of a proverbial stage, only to face my first defeat. That failure, however, didn't deter me. Just a few days later, I stepped onto the same battlefield, only to falter again. Douyin, the rising star, had a user base so deeply entrenched in its short video ecosystem that there was no shaking its foundation. People were glued to its endless stream of content, utterly engrossed. As long as this environment exists, I know I can always try again, whether to disrupt the market or experiment with something new. Even if success doesn't come immediately, the possibility remains that one day I will return and triumph. This is the strategy behind building a super app. The question remains, can Elon Musk's X reach such heights? To answer this, we first need to analyze X's current state. Its user base and content diversity are undoubtedly robust. Yet, the average time users spend on X remains relatively low. From my own experience, I spend considerable time on platforms like Douyin, YouTube, and even RedNote, Xiaohongshu, but X rarely commands more than a fleeting glance. Musk, however, seems unbothered by this. He appears to prioritize efficiency over prolonged engagement. His philosophy mirrors that of Google, helping users find what they need quickly and efficiently. For Google, long user sessions often indicate a failure in delivering an optimal search experience. Still, the story of X is far from over. Over time, it may evolve and uncover untapped potential, surprising everyone. In the East, another visionary, Zhang Xiaolong, the creator of WeChat, once said, "We shouldn't keep users immersed in WeChat. Instead, we should guide them to explore the wider world." This statement sparked much reflection. Today, WeChat is almost indispensable in China, with staggering daily usage times. Its ecosystem is expansive, encompassing messaging, social media, short videos, live streaming, and e-commerce. On X, the foundational components of a super app, social interactions, text posts, short videos are all in place. Group chats and community spaces are also frequent engagement points. But one crucial element X lacks is live streaming. While X does have live streaming, the experience pales in comparison to YouTube, let alone Douyin. Similarly, its subscription model exists but has yet to reach critical mass or fully capitalize on its potential. Musk is reportedly planning to launch audio and video call functionalities via X. While I have yet to test these features, his ambitious goal of replacing phone numbers entirely by relying solely on X's services is a bold move. Musk even hinted that he plans to cancel his own phone number, opting to use X exclusively for communication. This strategy could theoretically pull users into X's ecosystem, but significant changes in user habits will be required. Currently, many users, including myself, rely heavily on platforms like WeChat for audio and video calls. My wife and son rarely make direct phone calls anymore, choosing instead to use WeChat's voice call feature. The impact WeChat has had on traditional telecom providers is undeniable. Personally, I often use WhatsApp, Telegram, or Discord for voice and video communication. For Musk, catching up won't just mean competing with telecom giants. It will also require challenging the entrenched dominance of existing video communication apps. When organizing a meeting, most people instinctively turn to Zoom or Google Meet for large groups, and WhatsApp for smaller conversations. To carve out space in this crowded market, X must deliver unparalleled functionality and seamless integration that compels users to adopt it as their default platform. The road to becoming a super app is not for the faint-hearted. It demands boldness, resilience, and above all, relentless ambition. Whether X can achieve this remains to be seen, but the foundation is being laid, one ambitious move at a time. Elon Musk still has a long journey ahead, especially in addressing the absence of e-commerce and payment functionalities. Rumors suggest that he might explore these areas, possibly incorporating blockchain or cryptocurrency-based payment systems. However, as of now, this domain remains a blank slate in his vision for X. Transportation and logistics are another untapped frontier. These are critical pillars of modern super apps like Meituan or Uber. Yet Musk has not ventured into these areas with X. While Musk possesses the ability to reshape industries, some challenges remain particularly thorny for him. Among these is group buying, a service that plays a significant role in many lives, but has yet to be addressed in his plans. His API platform, the backbone for integrating third-party services and building ecosystems, is still in its infancy. Why is this significant? Across platforms like WeChat, YouTube, and Douyin, APIs act as gateways to vast troves of data. These platforms are like enormous oil fields, and their APIs serve as the rigs extracting the precious resource, data. Third-party developers, akin to industrious bees, utilize these APIs to customize and innovate, creating their own ecosystems within the platform. In comparison, Musk's efforts in this area are far behind. The analytics provided by his platform are rudimentary at best, and the API system is still underdeveloped. Without robust APIs, X lacks the foundational infrastructure to enable external developers to build ecosystems that thrive independently. In some ways, however, Musk has begun laying the groundwork in other fields. For example, Tesla, the king of electric vehicles, is already demonstrating its capabilities in transportation. The company is preparing to launch services like Cybercab or robotaxi fleets. If Musk successfully integrates these services with X through a well-developed API platform, Tesla could become a component of his envisioned everything app. If transportation becomes part of this ecosystem, food delivery isn't far-fetched either. Imagine Tesla vehicles equipped with advanced automation, and Optimus robots safely delivering meals or packages. Similar to how Uber branched into Uber Eats, Tesla could potentially diversify into logistics and food delivery. Such expansions could even pave the way for Musk to address e-commerce and payments, a domain rife with potential for disruption. While Musk hasn't explicitly discussed his stance on e-commerce, his vision for the future and mastery of technology suggests he could one day revolutionize this space. In the vast desert of unmet online potential, faint but persistent whispers speak of emerging ecosystems. These murmurs discuss payments, content ecosystems, and the nascent landscapes of platforms that have yet to fully form. Like grass in spring, these ecosystems be slow to grow, but they are inevitable. However, the internal ecosystem of X remains stagnant, much like a frozen winter lake. Efforts to attract creators, such as Twitter subscriptions or X's subscriber features, have yet to resonate with content production giants like WeChat's public account creators. These creators find X unappealing, dismissing its offers due to low financial incentives. The revenues are insufficient to justify their time or effort. They speak of low returns and high risks, declaring that the soil of X is still infertile. Musk knows this. He talks about algorithms and their pivotal role in shaping a super app. But algorithms alone cannot fill the gaps. They must evolve alongside new features, adapting like a skilled sound engineer tuning each instrument in an orchestra. Algorithms play a vital role, depend on the broader infrastructure to succeed. For instance, if Musk wants to incorporate video and audio calls into X and replace traditional phone numbers, the algorithm must ensure seamless connectivity and a frictionless user experience. Similarly, if X ventures into live streaming or e-commerce, algorithms will need to manage personalized recommendations, optimize payment flows, and ensure smooth user navigation. But building a super app is not just about technical innovation. It requires a deep understanding of ecosystems and user behavior. Platforms like WeChat didn't just succeed by introducing features. They succeeded by creating a seamless, interconnected ecosystem where users and businesses coexist symbiotically. Douyin thrived by fostering MCN, multi-channel network, agencies that nurtured content creators, while platforms like YouTube built APIs that allowed developers to build entire ecosystems around video. At this stage, Musk's X is still far from realizing this vision. He has the ambition, the talent pool, and the technological prowess to make strides. But to truly create a super app, Musk must address the fundamental gaps in payment systems, logistics, and developer-friendly infrastructure. Moreover, he must build ecosystems robust enough to attract creators and businesses, ensuring mutual growth. The path to a super app is long and fraught with challenges, but if anyone has the ambition to pull it off, it's Musk. For now, though, X remains a work in progress, an ambitious vision waiting to unfold. Douyin serves as a quintessential example of how a super app evolves. At first, it prioritized large creators, ensuring their content reached massive audiences, which attracted a steady influx of users. Over time, it gradually diversified its traffic, giving new creators and fresh content opportunities to shine. Eventually, Douyin moved into e-commerce, funneling traffic into live shopping and product-focused streams. The algorithm, like an invisible director, meticulously orchestrates this distribution of traffic to meet evolving needs. Its impact is undeniable. However, its role extends far beyond this surface-level function. Behind the scenes of these digital giants, operations teams wield algorithms as tools, fine-tuning and adapting them with incredible speed and precision. Their every move is logged, analyzed, and adjusted in real time, turning the control panel into a digital alchemist's workstation. These operational consoles are akin to ancient divination altars, brimming with mystique and power. Skilled engineers and operations specialists collaborate to create digital empires. While algorithm engineers often take the spotlight for their ingenuity, the unsung heroes are the operations teams. These meticulous craftsmen use patience, attention to detail, and persistence to solve seemingly insurmountable challenges, enabling super apps to flourish. In the West, the path of super app development has diverged significantly from the East. Take the Facebook ecosystem, for instance. Its array of apps, Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, operates like a lofty monarch, commanding the digital landscape with unparalleled reach. For years, Facebook excelled in leveraging advanced technology and user autonomy. Consider Amazon Web Services, AWS, a hallmark of self-service systems. Users can select services, configure them, pay, and launch their digital needs, all with just a few clicks. This approach to automation and user independence not only revolutionized cloud computing, but also cemented Amazon's place as a cornerstone of the digital economy. Similarly, on YouTube, creators wield full control over their content. When a creator uploads a video, they personally adjust every setting from tags to thumbnails, ensuring the final product reflects their vision. While this process might seem tedious, it empowers creators to maintain meticulous control over their work. Super apps, whether in the East or the West, have each charted their unique paths to growth, reshaping our digital lives in the process. In the West, super app creators focus heavily on building self-service systems and knowledge-sharing platforms, often labeled as fountains of wisdom. These channels are designed to guide users, offering a wealth of curated content, much like constellations leading travelers across an otherwise dark sky. For instance, YouTube's educational content channels act as beacons of knowledge. Their homepages are adorned with carefully curated videos, resembling an art gallery where creativity meets utility. Background images are thoughtfully designed to evoke awe and wonder, framing knowledge as both accessible and profound. The videos themselves rotate like ocean tides, seamlessly updating to reflect emerging trends and shifting viewer interests. Western super apps also emphasize global accessibility. They create platforms that transcend borders, enabling users worldwide to tap into a shared repository of knowledge and services. This self-service model, celebrated in the West, is gradually making its way into Chinese platforms, marking the beginning of a global journey for these practices. Meanwhile, in the East, platforms like Douyin take a more proactive approach. They build ecosystems not just for users, but also for businesses, influencers, and e-commerce players, fostering interdependence through intricate algorithms and hands-on operations. The success of such platforms lies in their ability to manage vast, interconnected systems while maintaining an engaging user experience. These differences in approach highlight the cultural and technological diversity shaping the global digital landscape. Whether through the seamless automation of Western platforms or the ecosystem-driven innovation of Eastern apps, the evolution of super apps continues to redefine how we live, work, and interact in the digital age. Each side, in its own way, is building bridges to the future of technology, offering lessons that echo across the globe. Let's explore the stark contrasts in operational strategies between the East and the West. At its core, this is a contest between patience and speed. Western teams lean towards slow and steady growth. They prioritize building a solid foundation over time, relying on user loyalty and word of mouth to shape their brand, as evidenced by companies like Facebook and Twitter. These platforms evolved into super apps through careful accumulation, not sudden breakthroughs. In the East, however, the focus is entirely different. Utility trumps innovation. Teams are less concerned with being the first to innovate and more focused on making technology accessible and usable. With templates already established by the West, Eastern teams focus on scaling applications quickly. Massive sales and operational teams flood the market, filling every possible gap with an aggressive presence to ensure every corner feels the app's impact. The recent successes of TikTok, Temu, and Shein, along with the rise of Xiaohongshu, RedNote, have infused confidence into Eastern platforms. They've proven that global aspirations are achievable. Even apps like Xiaohongshu, with a logo bearing only 3 Chinese characters and an interface entirely in Chinese, managed to captivate international users eager to explore something new. This divide, between the West's patient accumulation and the East's fast, aggressive market entry, defines 2 distinct paths to success. Western teams invest time and resources carefully, seeking a balanced return on investment. In contrast, Eastern teams pour vast sums into advertising and market expansion, often treating short-term losses as a strategic investment. In China, this intense advertising culture drives results with relentless force. Advertisers willingly incur losses to acquire market share, viewing it as a calculated risk. Meanwhile, Western companies maintain a measured pace, scrutinizing every dollar spent and evaluating its effectiveness. These 2 roads diverge sharply, offering different models for building digital empires. And now, the story circles back to Elon Musk and his ambitious vision of turning X into an everything app. This is no small feat. X faces an uphill battle due to its already fixed user scenarios and relatively low engagement rates. Breaking into new territories, be it e-commerce, payments, or logistics, won't be easy. Musk's actions thus far suggest he's only dipping his toes in shallow waters, hesitant to commit fully. Why? Because the path forward is fraught with uncertainty. Does Musk have the willingness to invest everything necessary to make X a super app? That remains to be seen. In the East, we understand that building a true super app demands immense resources. Tens of thousands of employees in research, operations, and sales, combined with billions of dollars in advertising investment. Whether Musk follows this model or forges a different path is anyone's guess. One thing is certain, though. Musk is an innovator. He may create entirely new scenarios through groundbreaking technologies, paving the way for a super app unlike anything we've seen before. While his strategy remains unpredictable, his reputation as a trailblazer keeps us all watching with anticipation. In the East, Musk's bold moves have inspired an entirely different approach. Teams closely monitor his experiments, mirroring his ideas while adding local innovations to meet the unique needs of Eastern users. This follow and improve strategy has allowed Eastern teams to create dazzling applications that thrive in their markets. These applications are not mere copies. Eastern innovators adapt Musk's visions, infusing them with localized elements to make them more relatable and practical for their users. With a go big or go home mentality, they invest heavily in manpower and finances, creating miracles through sheer determination. Musk might not have foreseen how his experiments would ignite such innovation in the East. These applications now serve as bridges, connecting Eastern and Western technological advancements and fostering a shared narrative of growth and progress. Today's story is about these daring adventurers riding the waves of technological change. Inspired by Musk's vision of a super app, they've used their ingenuity and determination to create wonders of their own. These apps not only exemplify the best of innovation, but also stand as a testament to how technology transcends borders and connects cultures. Whether Musk's super app will ultimately materialize remains uncertain. But one thing is clear, this journey is worth telling. It's a story of ambition, creativity, and the relentless pursuit of the future. Thank you for listening. If this journey intrigues you, please like, follow, and join the discussion. Until next time, goodbye.